Well, not in there. It's not. I mean, that so-called debate in there is full of people who are out of touch with reality, and their imagined world is one of completely open borders where everybody moves around. There are no problems, and it's all going to be a fantastic United States of Europe, and it doesn't work. And the little speech I made, and I only had 60 seconds, so it's very difficult to make a lot of points in 60 seconds. But my point was a sensible immigration policy would bring in people in Britain that we actually want. People where we genuinely can't fill job vacancies from our own unemployed. We bring in skilled people or people to do low-paid jobs if we genuinely can't fill them. People who want to marry British citizens. People who have a legitimate right to come, and it's a mutual beneficial arrangement. We don't have that. We have open borders, which means anybody can come. So we don't just get the good people who work hard, pay their taxes and abide by the law, and we've got plenty of them, and they do a great job. What we also get is the criminals, the vagrants, the drug addicts, the alcoholics, the beggars, and it's becoming a big problem in the UK. And even the legitimate immigration is people who work on very low pay. It's now considered some kind of achievement in my country that people are paid the minimum wage. You can't live on the minimum wage, and yet people will come in from the European Union, work less than the minimum wage as self-employed. It's driven down the living standards of the existing population. Property prices have gone up because of the demand, and so overall, mass immigration has been a disaster. And this is why people are rebelling, because they're having enough. And in there, of course, it's always the same problem. It's not the problem that's the problem. It's because they need more European power to remove something that isn't really a problem anyway, and it'll all be wonderful in the future. They're bonkers in there, absolutely bonkers. Well, how long term has it got to be? If you live in a country and your living standards are being destroyed, you've got criminals roaming the streets because we're not allowed to keep them out. You've got people, as I've got, living rough in the bushes opposite my house, going through my rubbish bins in the morning looking for scraps or I don't know what. You know, how long is the long term? How long, oh, never, don't mind, another 60 years it'll all be all right. No, it's an idiotic ideological commitment. There should be some movement of people, obviously based on any nation state's criteria for allowing people in. Do they need workers in this sphere or that sphere? Are they going to allow people to retire to their country who are on pensions? They're not going to be a drain on the state. If somebody wants to go to a country like the USA, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, they have very stringent conditions to fulfill before they'll let you in. They don't just let you come in and go onto their benefit system or come in and work on low pay and undercut their own workers. You have to qualify their criteria. And if you, for example, want to go to Australia and you don't have one of the key skills that they want, but let's say you want to go and retire there, they demand that you have a very large amount of money. I can't remember exactly, like 250,000 Australian dollars or something like that, to invest in their country before they'll let you in. So you would think that there must be some, you know, they must have worked this out, there must be a reason for it. Yes, it's because they want to maintain the standards in their own country and not damage the living standards of their existing population. We've thrown all that to the wind. Open borders, anybody can come, sleep in the gutter, you know, no problem. No such thing as anything is free in life. Everything has a price, and you have to decide whether the price is worth what you're getting for it. We believe in as free a market as possible, but you have to regulate, every government regulates the market to some extent, because otherwise there'd be a free-for-all and it wouldn't work. And the same thing with the labour market. You have to regulate it by saying, who do we want in? What are the key skills that we need? Can we not fill jobs in this particular area, for example? For example, in the care industry is a problem in filling jobs. So therefore you let people in who are not particularly skilled and who don't get paid particularly much. But that's a world of difference from saying, let's have an open market. People can come in, work for less than the minimum wage, as they do if they're self-employed, and then you drive the living standards down of the existing population, who then can't earn a living, who then can't pay tax, and you depress the whole economy. So you can't just have a complete free-for-all.